Hey everyone, alright, so I'm here to do a book review on Maybe For You by Moyes, or Moyes. I don't know how to say the last name of the author. But anyways, Maybe For You is a contemporary novel, adult fiction, and it takes place in England. And it's basically about a girl named Louisa, who's basically described in the book as an ordinary, like mundane kind of girl. She works at a cafe. Um, she dresses very uniquely, and she has a boyfriend who's like a runner, and her family right now there's like a recession going on in England, so her family is very poor because it's basically the only one that's making money in that household is her dad, who doesn't make enough money to like live by like to support his family. So Louisa has to work and use some of her money to support the family too. And basically, they live in a house with the mom, the dad, her sister, Louisa's sister, and her sister's son, and the grandfather. And Louisa kind of just goes along, is fine with that. She, always been fine living that way and never really thought about, really doing anything else. She was fine working these jobs, like, kind of like your unprofessional jobs. She didn't really, it didn't matter to her. She is okay. And in the book right now, she's 28 or 27 years old. I think her little sister, I don't really think they ever say how old her little sister is, but I feel like her little sister is maybe like a couple years younger than her. Not like drastically younger, but she's an adult, but she's a little bit younger. Anyway, so basically, Louisa loses her job at the cafe because the cafe closes down. So she goes to the career center and looks for a different job. And she interviews for a caregiver job that will be watching Will Trainer, who is quadriplegic. And basically she is hired in to be like bubbly and inspirational and like cheer up Will Trainer, because Will Trainer is a C5-6 quadriplegic, and I don't know what the C5-6 means. Like, I'm guessing there's different types of quadriplegics, but like different levels of them and whatever. I just don't know what that means. But basically, he can only move or function above his head. Like, he can move his head and stuff, but below that, he can't really function. Like, he can only move one of his arms, but it's very, like, limited. Like, he can't raise that arm up very high, so it's really no use to him. They can't move his legs or anything. And I think from the book and what I got from the book, he can feel sensations and feel in his lower body, but he like can't move it. So he's always in a wheelchair. And Will Trainer comes from a very wealthy family. His mom is, I believe, a judge, and his dad either owns a castle, or that they live behind, or he like runs something important in the castle. I'm not exactly sure. So he's very rich. In his previous life, he was a financial attorney where he would sell and buy businesses, and he was very successful at that. And then he was also very adventurous, and like he would, like climb mountains and jump out of airplanes, kind of thing, like those kind of adventurous. And he had, seems like it from the book, that he was very, not cocky, but a little bit more confident than most people, and really, always, got the hottest girls kind of thing, and, just, he had that confidence about him, like that borderline arrogancy, borderline maybe cocky, but he had that confidence, like he had the life. He goes on vacation, he's a bachelor, he does whatever he wants with girls, blah, blah, blah. He's also very cultured. He knows a lot about novels, books, music, and everything, and films. And one day he is trying to catch a cab, and he gets hit by a motorcyclist, and everything falls apart for him. So you're basically taking a guy who jumps off cliffs, scuba dives, does all this adventurous stuff, and putting him in a wheelchair, which really, like, makes Will go into depression. So basically, anyways, Louisa is hired again, like I said, to just cheer him up and, you know, watch over him and make sure he's happy and comfortable and everything. And he does have a nurse who comes in the mornings and the afternoons to, like, and nights to give his medicine and do, like, the exercises he needs to do. But Louisa's strictly there just to, like, be by his side, not to do, like, the medical stuff. And throughout the book, it's just basically about him and his relationship with Louisa and about life. And the thing also about this book is there's a very heavy theme, not just with Will Traynor being quadriplegic and all that stuff. It's a heavy theme of, like, Louisa's life and her aspirations. Because, like I said before, she's a very mundane girl. And I know she was hired to inspire Will about life. Like, life, there's life outside that chair. Like, you can do things, you know, outside, and just because you're in a chair does not make you so constricted. But Will also was there to, like, inspire Louisa and thinking that you don't have to just work these mundane, like, unprofessional jobs, and you can go and do other things. You can go visit places. You can go and, like, live your life, basically. Kind of, you know, the book's about that too, and there's that theme is everywhere, and it's not just Will contributing to that, it's her own family contributes to that theme too. So it's really interesting, like, that whole aspect of the book, because, you know, she's still in her 20s, and that's basically what your 20s are about, is, like, figuring out what you want in life and all that stuff. So it's very interesting. Like, that theme was really interesting, and I really liked it. So it's also about that. But anyway, so what I thought about this book is it's a really quick read, very smooth. Like, the writing is smooth, everything is smooth, and it was just a very enjoyable writing, and, like, it's just very enjoyable. There was, like, no parts of the book that was, like, boring. Like, you know, there's some parts in books where it just drags on and on and on, and you're just like, oh my god, like, can this thing hurry up, or can I please skip this part, kind of thing. It was not, there's no parts like that. This book was completely enjoyable and an easy read. The characters were amazingly developed and brilliant, and very likable. Like, Louisa is your bubbly girl, and you can relate to her in so many ways, I feel. And, you know, she's very bubbly and outgoing. I really liked Louisa. There was, like, no parts of her that made me annoyed. I think sometimes characters, like, are likable, but they have that annoying aspect to them. Or there's just some characters who are just completely, like, annoying. And Louisa was, like, completely likable. I really liked Louisa. And Will, like, he comes off kind of, like, enclosed, or, like, to himself, and kind of like an asshole, because, you know, he is depressed about this, you know, his situation. And so, yeah, and it's like, but he's still likable, because even though he's, like, he's, like, depressed and this and this and that, and he's kind of like an asshole and kind of smart ass, he actually, like, the way he acts around Louisa and how he inspires Louisa is kind of, like, just makes you like him. Like, yeah, he's like that, but it's understandable he's like that, because, I mean, you came from a very adventurous life, and now you're stuck doing nothing, really. And, like, he's even a very, like, cool character and likable character, and, like, you know, I understand him. Like, the other secondary characters, like Nathan, you don't know too much about Nathan, but his character is so fitting. Like, you don't know too much about him, but it's like he's like that support to Louisa, like that, like, when she doesn't get something that Will does or acts, or why he's this way, Nathan's always there to comfort her and kind of, like, explain why he's like that. And I kind of like, he kind of fit that kind of, like, role. Louisa's family is awesome. Like, they're very likable people. The only thing is, like, not really annoying, because it's fitting, but her little sister is more ambitious than Louisa. She wants to do more with her life. Even though she has a kid, she made a mistake. Like, not a mistake, but, you know, they say it as, like, in the book, like, it's you know, made that mistake. But um, and got pregnant young, but she's more ambitious. Like, even though she had a kid young, she wants to still do more with life. She wants to go to school and stuff. So she always kind of like throws that in Louisa's face, be like, throw it in like her face that, oh, I'm doing stuff in my life and I'm the smartest one in this family because I actually read books and blah 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 kind of thing. And she's kind of like this, the stereotypical younger kid, because the younger kid, the baby of the family, is always mostly an asshole and throws things in people's faces, like older kids' faces all the time, and tries to act like they know more when they're, like, even though they've been on this earth less than you had, and but at the same time, she fits that role because most people act like babies of the family act that way. And then like Will's parents, they're very fitting of their character. Like, you don't really know much about Will's father other than like some parts of his personality, and the why he's like never really there fits his personality. And his mother, kind of like, her personality is very fitting too. That's what I really liked about this book. There's no like extreme to any of these characters where there's like over exaggeration of them or anything. Like, everything they do and everything they feel and everything they say is so fitting to their personality and their character that it's just amazing. Like, it's just real. Like, if this were to be real life, I'm pretty sure every single character act that exact same way. If you understand what I'm trying to say. The only thing that kind of annoyed me, but not too much to make it or break it about the book, is that I didn't like they would throw in some chapters where the narrator would be different, because Louisa is the main narrator in the book. But sometimes they'll have a chapter where her sister was the narrator, or like Will's parents were the narrator, or like some random person was the narrator. And I kind of felt like that was kind of a little bit like boring, because not like boring, but like annoying, because like I really wanted to like hear Louisa's like point of view of everything. And that's why this, like, Louisa is such a likable character. Like, I wanted the story through her eyes the whole way through. Like, I really didn't want to hear like her sister's side of the story, or like through her sister's eyes, even though I understood it, why they put that in there, just like kind of so you get kind of like your view of it all. But again, it was kind of like, I just want to get through those kind of chapters. But they weren't bad, It's more like I just wanted to hear Louisa's side. But at the end of the day, it didn't make it or break it for this book. I love this book all the way through. Therefore, I give it 5 out of 5 stars, and I think everyone should go out and read it. It's a quick read. It's really, like, you can finish this in like a week. And like I say in like every one of my videos, I'm a really slow reader, and I read this in like a week and a half, which is probably slow to most people who are fast readers, but that's actually fast for me, because literally it takes me a month to read a book, only because like I felt like whatever. So anyways, yeah, please go out and read it if you want to or are interested. I promise you it's a really good book. You really like it. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!